Hello, this is John from caveofprogramming.com. In this tutorial we're going to look at adding markers to maps. Now the thing is, I've done this before in Android Map version 1 API, but I've never done it with this map API. So what I'm about to show you is just me looking stuff up and trying to get it to work. And I'm just putting this in to this Android tutorial because I wanted to show you something that isn't just the absolute basic map stuff, but equally this is a new API to me, just as it probably is to you, and I don't know my way around it. So I'm going to try to get this working in this tutorial by following the documentation. And if you want to see an example of this working in front of you, then hopefully I can sort that out for you now. So let's go to a internet browser, and actually here is the map application I have at the minute. It's just the basic demo from the Google Developer Guide. And into Google I'm going to type something like Android Map V2, because it's no good using the V1 at this point, and something like add map marker or add marker. Whenever I want to find out how to do something, I just type it into Google like this using keywords, appropriate keywords. And with Android stuff, the developer documentation is usually the best place to look. But with other programming stuff, then of course often you can find lots of examples elsewhere. But there's one central point for Android here. So it looks pretty simple. It looks like having we've got a map fragment that's displaying. And it looks like we just basically have to get that fragment and add a thing called a marker to it. Like it's like a hello world marker they've got here. I literally have just seen this document for the first time 10 minutes ago. So I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm going to try doing this. So we've got to get the map and add a marker to it. And this is quite a lot simpler than the version 1 API, which involved messing around with overlays and overlay items, and I think there was some other layer in there as well. Let's go to maybe the main activity here, and there seems to be something wrong. What I'm going to do is I'm going to restart Eclipse, and I'm going to pause recording of this video for a second. Okay, I'm back. I've just restarted Eclipse and it seems to fix those weird problems that were coming up. Let's paste that source code in here. And I don't see any reason why for this particular application, just for this little demo, I don't need the map in a private variable. So let's just say here, Google Map, and get rid of this private declaration. I'll add the imports with Control-Shift-O, and that all looks fine. Let's run this and just see what it does. And if it works, I might try adding a slightly more interesting marker. So I'll run this on my HTC, and it looks like you can add these markers, and this marker options thing from what I can see of the documentation lets you set an icon and stuff like that on it if you want to. So let's try this. In fact, I see how they've done that. This is they're actually chaining methods here. So marker options has a position method and a title method. Don't think I've ever seen anyone do anything quite like this in Java before, but fair enough. We could rewrite this by saying marker options marker equals new marker options, and then we could set stuff on it, like we could say marker. I'm going to show you the running program in just a second, but we could say marker dot position, I zoom marker dot position, and set 0, 0, and marker dot title 0, 0, 0. I assume that would work. Oh, not 0, 0. That should be hello world or something like that. Oh yeah, and the position should be new lat long. This is a new class on me as well. I haven't seen this before. So they've changed quite a lot since the last time. And if these are set methods, let's hover the mouse over position, press F2, go into this documentation, it just says sets a location for the marker. So now we could supply the marker to here like that. And to my mind, okay, that's a bit more verbose, but it looks easier to tell. It's easier to tell what's going on. Okay, so now what we've got is this, and we've got a marker there on the map. And if I pick up my phone here in the real world, I can zoom in on that marker. There we go. Now, if you look at the documentation, there's lots of other stuff you can do, like you can get stuff that's displayed, you can add stuff, a snippet that's displayed below the title, like you could in the previous version. You can make it draggable, which is very nice, and you can set an icon as well, which I guess is just a matter of putting an image, I presume, in your in like a drawable folder, and then just specifying the ID to the marker, I should imagine, but I'm not sure, I haven't tried it. And we've got some more examples down here, like setting a position at Melbourne. This is a longitude and latitude. And what else do we have? Yeah, and here we've got an example of setting an icon. It's a bit more complicated than I imagine. So we've got to call the .icon method, and we need to use bitmap descriptor factory here it says .default marker. So there's a bunch of default markers that we can set as well, apparently, if we just copy and paste that. So I'll leave you to play around this. It looks pretty nice, actually. I have no real desire to add markers to maps myself at the moment, but definitely could be very useful. And also, as in the last API, it looks like we can also add a on-marker click listener to a marker. Let's just do that actually to finish off this tutorial. I'll try one other little thing. In fact, let's try a couple of little things from this document, because it'd be interesting to have a different bitmap really. So let's set the icon using this. So I'll call the .icon method a marker, which is marker.icon, like that. Now, does that work if we add the import for bitmap descriptor factory, add the semicolon at the end? So this should give us an Azure marker. I don't know what other options we can have. And let's set the snippet to something. Then maybe we can set a snippet, and I'll leave the longitude and latitude where it is, but I will set the title as well. So let's say marker, I've set the title to Hello World actually already. Let's say marker.snippet, and some info goes here. And finally, let's see if we can figure out when the user's clicking the marker. I presume we can detect drag events on it as well. Yeah, marker drag events. So I think this is a considerable simplification of the previous API by the looks of it. Let's see if we can add one of these click listeners, like marker dot on, or maybe set click. No, maybe not. I'm going to have to consult the documentation clearly. So there's no set on click method. Let's take a look and see what it says. So you can use it on info window click listener to listen to click events on an info window. I don't think we need to do that. I need to look at these marker click events. You can use an on marker click listener to listen for click events on the marker. Oh, so we need to say Google Map.set on marker click listener. Fair enough. Well, let's try that then. When a user clicks on a marker, on marker click marker will be called. All right, let's try this. So Google Map.set. So I presumably I need to get my map here. Map.set on marker click listener. New on marker click listener, I presume. And let's add the semicolon, add the imports there, Control-Shift-O. And finally, so yeah, the actual marker in question apparently gets passed in. And let's just pop up a toast. So let's say toast.make text. Context is going to be the activity, but I can't just say this because we're in a method of an anonymous class. So I need to say main activity dot this. The text, let's display marker dot, can we say get snippet? Yeah, let's try that. And the duration, I'm going to say toast dot length long dot, and now I need to say dot show to actually show the toast. So let's run that and see if that works, and then I'll leave it there, because as you can see, all I'm really doing is looking at the documentation, which is probably a limited value to you, but I just wanted to put something extra in about maps. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to just pause the recording for a minute. Okay, it seems to be running, and there's the marker, so I'm going to go to my phone. Let's zoom in a bit actually, and let's just click the marker. It's in the middle of the ocean, and there we go, we've got a toast popping up. So I'm quite impressed with that actually. I think it's a lot better than the previous map API, I must admit. That's it for this tutorial, and until next time, happy coding.